So to paraphrase Austin Powers, thought I'd say allow myself to introduce myself and do a bit of an introduction video and a walk around of the garden. So yeah, so this is my small garden in southeast London. We'll go around it in a second, but you're gonna have to forgive the mess because I'm 40 years old, mum of three, originally from the northwest, moved down to London when I was about after university to start a job, and been here ever since. I met my husband, and then when we bought a house, we decided to buy it on the London Kent border because he's originally from Kent. I don't know if he's a man of Kent or a Kentish man. He's from Canterbury, so whichever one that is. And we've got three daughters, so they're all 7 and under, which is obviously a bit of a handful. And I work full time as well. So working full time, having the three kids, and liking gardening, I really just don't have a lot of time to do anything. Um, yeah, so currently waiting on the food shop. Then I've got to do the kids' lunch. Then we're going to the park, and then at some point I'll try and do a bit of like tidying up at the garden because it's getting a bit OTT. I mean, to be honest, the thing is, it's still sunny. It's very warm today, like 24, 3, I think, and until the sun's gone and you can start sort of prepping for autumn and stuff, I still have to do things like watering and deadheading, which I suppose just take up a lot of the time. So I'll concentrate on that. Um, but as I said, my nickname is the Black Thumb because, although I've given it to myself, because I just kill everything. I mean, I like gardening and I love the flowers and I love going to see gardens and seeing what they've done, but I just don't have a good knack for it or I don't know a lot about it. So I'll give everything a good go and try and learn as I go. And we'll take it from there and see how I get on. The thing is, I find that when you're watching these gardening programs, they're a bit like, oh, well, what you do with this plant is you have to plant it, but only to this depth and only at this spacing, and it has to be this type of soil, and then water it, but don't water it too much, and then deadhead it, but just deadhead it to this point in the plant or 6 millimeters above this point, as long as it's east facing. And I'm just at the end of it, I'm like, hold on, this was meant to be like a beginner this was meant to be like an easy thing to do, and it's not. um, so yeah, and then for some plants, it's like, right, okay, so this one you can plant it, and then it won't flower this year, but it'll flower next year. So I'm like, well, how do I remember where I put it, and then if something's a weed or not, then yeah. So to be honest, I just learn by doing. So and because I've got this little garden, I thought I'd crack on. So I'm going to do a little bit of a walk around. You're just going to have to forgive the mess because, like I say, I just don't have enough time in the day to do everything. So tidying is one of the things that just is less urgent than deadheading some stuff to keep things flowering and watering it at the minute. But I'll take you around and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I'm going to start on the decking, which, to be honest, is just a load of pansies at the minute of violas. But anyway, we'll crack on with it. What this is actually when we bought the house, there was a garage here, which we then changed the front garden into a front drive, which was a shame actually because it was really nice. And the woman who lived here was obviously a very good gardener. She had a lovely garden out front and out back. But just in living here, we've changed quite a lot. We've been here 10 years now. But this was a garage, and because it was a garage, it's just concrete under this decking. It's not garden. So I can't do anything with it. And it's a bit frustrating because this is actually south facing. Um, yeah, which is a bit of a shame, but it's why all the pots and things are here. So I'll just start. We had this decking put in, and it was quite high to cover the concrete because the concrete was wonky. And you've got these two steps. Now, this step used to run all the way along the decking. And that was just so the kids didn't fall off or trip or whatever when they were little. But actually, because the pots kept mounting up with little bits of flowers, we were just using two areas of the decking to come up and come down, or around the corner as well. So we took out that step and we made two little steps. And then that was only maybe a month ago. And then I want to create a little border because it is south facing and it should be, things should grow nicely here. Although it's clay soil, so that's a bit of a challenge. But what I did when we turned it over and the step was out on this border is just put some green manure down straight away because it was late summer. We're not going to plant anything in it. I think this can grow for about 8 weeks, and then we'll dig it in, and it should improve the soil for next year. Probably put a bit of mulching over the top or something. I don't know. I'll have to Google mulching and see what you have to do. But yeah, that's that. Otherwise, I've been restricted to pots really in the sun. So obviously, this one is a dahlia. I keep forgetting how to say those. And these planters were given to me by my father-in-law. But what I've done is there's a planter in it like that, and I've got a few of those. So I've done these for summer, and I can just swap them out. So I will, in autumn, I'll prep. I'll probably do autumn planters with like got loads of winter pansies to put in, and put those in the planters. And then I'll do spring ones as well. So I'll plant some tulip bulbs in different ones as well and just rotate them around. But yeah, so I've got that planter in with that plant. And then we've got a few non-stop begonias are like my favourite flower because I don't have time and they will just keep going and I don't have to do anything with them, and they don't even, because of the type of leaf and I think where they're from, and they don't need a lot of watering in there, so they just keep things ticking over for me, and I like the flower. This pot we went to RHS Hampton Court and I picked up a few flowers, so they've seen better days, but that's been nice. And that pot was for a present from my husband from Mother's Day. Got another non-stop. I love this thing. I can't pronounce it, but it's this, and I love the orange flowers. And I did a Chelsea chop on it, and it's just gone the whole summer. So I think it's tender. So because I love it so much, I might bring it into the conservatory and see if it will flower again next summer. And then in this one, we've got cosmos, geraniums, which aren't geraniums, just another pot. But along the border, I'm hoping to plant perennials and annuals, which I will buy, and also obviously I've sown some seeds. So that's what I'll plant it out with, but I haven't really planned it yet. I'm going to have to think about what I want to put in there, and I don't really know just how to do it and stagger the flowering, but I guess I'll find out. And then along the back here, we've got a lot of fence space, and it's quite boring looking out from the house. So I've got in this pot a honeysuckle, which I think is semi-evergreen. So once it grows up along this trellis, it should stay, as in over winter, and give me a bit of like a green barrier or green fence over winter. Then we've got a shrub rose, which is the Elizabeth rose I spoke about yesterday's. We've got a morning glory in the back here in this planter to go up this, which does go up this trellis, but I got these free seeds with the Gardener's World magazine, and I did it the first year and they flowered, and then I sowed them and planted them subsequent years the same way, and they just haven't flowered. So I think they are a bit of a late flowerer, but I want to get the this is a climbing rose, which I have put in a large terracotta pot, but obviously everyone says it is pretty. It's a Gertrude Jekyll. And again, this is the one I was having trouble with powdered mildew. Everyone says not to put them in a pot, but I'm just going to give it a go because I don't really have an alternative if I want a rose to climb up the back here. See if it goes up this trellis when this morning glory, I get rid of it and push it back. I've got another rose here. I told you I was obsessed. This is a Bring Me Sunshine David Austin rose. It's beautiful yellow and it's a beautiful smell. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the last pot is a star jasmine, which, because I'm in London, I'm hoping, and I think it's hardy down to -10. So it'd be unusual for, an urban garden to get below that. So I'm hoping this is going to be okay. And then again, if it climbs up this trellis, I think it's evergreen or semi-evergreen. So that should stay over winter. My main goal here will be to have things climb along the back that smell lovely, look beautiful. So that's the honeysuckle, the jasmine, and then the 3 roses, so the 2 shrub roses and the climber. And we'll just see how they go and how that works out. Then I'm going to minimise the pots because it is just too much watering when I have hardly got any time. And then this border again, planting some lovely sort of cottage flowers type things and see how they crack on in this new border, which I'm sure again will be hit and miss, but I never really had a border, so yeah, we'll see. And then we've got our shed, which is full of my husband's stuff, and then we've got this garden office, which we bought, which is really handy when we're working from home. Well, I've lost out to my husband actually, who uses it now because his office closed in COVID. So it's his full time location. So he's inherited the garden office. But we did create a little border against this. This is actually partial shade because it is west facing, and the actual sun doesn't hit it until maybe 1 o'clock in the evening. So I did have a wisteria planted here on the left, but everyone said it was. I started reading, got a bit nervous that it's so thirsty that actually it can affect the concrete base of the building, and we already get, we can get a bit of movement anyway in London with the clay. So I took it out and I planted this David Austin Road rose, which is a climber, and it's called Wollerton Old Hall, which again has lovely flowers. Hopefully that will go well. And then we've got this other rose and a load of weeds at the minute, which I have to again sort out when I've got time. We've got another rose here. We don't know what it is. It's from my husband's gran. So we had it in a pot. It did keep going, but it wasn't very happy. So we stuck it in the ground for now. And we'll see how that goes. And then I've got this border, which is my problematic border really, because it's north facing. And also we get a lot of snails in this garden and a football. So at the top, I've got hanging baskets with trailing non-stop begonias, my favourite flowers. And they've been going okay. I mean, I haven't been looking after it, as you can tell, or deadheading it particularly, just keeping it topped up with water. But it does get a bit of light because it's high on the fence. But down here, it's really just deep shade, and it might get a few hours in the afternoon in the height of summer. Some stuff is self-seeded, like, I can't remember what this is now. Self-seeded, it's got nice flowers. And the only thing things are growing, but what I've decided is to sort of throw in shrubs. And if the shrub lasts, then it's fine. I can just leave it because nothing really, I've just struggled with things to flower here or grow here, or, we've had hostas and they've been absolutely annihilated by snails. So what do you do? This is what's growing in the minute. I don't really have any idea. I did buy this hydrangea after I saw it on Alan Titchmarsh's YouTube channel because he recommended it as a climber for shade, like a sucker climber. So we put a trellis behind it. But again, we've put it in and it hasn't really done much. So hopefully next year it will be a bit more established and do a bit more. But yeah, and then finally the problem we've got here is there's mint has been grown or grown on the other side. So it's such a voracious grower that we just get a load of mint. So it's a real problem. What I'm hoping is I can just focus on this side, getting it really nice, getting the border done, consolidating the pots, getting the climbers along the back. And that will give me the nice bits of the garden, and then we'll try and tidy up this border, north-facing border. Just to mention that one of the other things we've done, because we took that wisteria out, is I didn't not keep it. I kept it and I put it in this massive B&Q pot down here to sort of grow it as a tree. So it hasn't been very happy in the pot. It grew so quickly against the office when we put it next there. But and since we planted it here, I don't think the growth has been as vigorous, even though it's actually a sunnier spot. Maybe it's because it's a bit drier in the pot. But it's been doing okay, and I've been watering it, and I'm hoping over the next few years we can grow it as a lovely tree, because I've seen some absolutely beautiful pictures of wisteria grown as trees. So hopefully that will work out. The final thing is, again, I've just got pots galore. This is a hydrangea that we took out. And then we've got other pots, and it's just become too much. I had a clematis in a pot that didn't work out. So this is what I mean by the black thumb. I just, I'll try things and then kill things and then try something else. But hopefully I'll start getting it right and learn as I grow and go. I think what's difficult is the south facing is almost all pots at the minute, so it's just watering all the time, and it does get hot in central London. And then the north facing is just a really tricky border because it's apart from the very top things in deep shade. So it's a real garden of extremes in a way, especially with the clay soil, which can be tricky as well. It's either quite wet or quite dry. But that's my garden, and I'll keep you across the different things that I'm doing, and then hopefully next year everything will come into its own.